Bank2Budget Your Reports Form. This form is very powerful and you'll be using it a lot in your analysis. This form will display your user categories in budget and non-budget, as well as dynamically summing up your user categories into the national standard, financial standard categories, which is down in this area here. Of course, it shows what your actual percentage of your revenue is, and it gives you an idea of the particular categories or type of spending that would fall into these national categories. It provides a dynamic chart as well to show your visual trends, and also provides monthly and yearly type of charting or pivot table or data table type of reports for yourself. Finally, you'll see that at the very bottom you have a summary line here where it does show as far as your full financial activity, if you are netting a positive or negative. This particular screenshot shows a negative of $1,800 on the average per month, which is loss. Now, don't be concerned about this because there's always things that apply to a negative, but you do want to work towards getting into a positive trend in this area here. Of course, it does the same summary type of calculations for things that are classed as budgeted items, which are items that you know of, and of course then the non-budgeted as well. We'll go into looking at some of these reports and showing you some of the areas that you should be that you have your flexibility for adjusting and manipulating. So let's get started. Okay, once again we've got John's budget, and there are no outstanding transactions here, so the second button here is Your Reports. The first thing you want to do is, since this form contains a lot of things you can analysis, you can maximize your form. Now, right in here, it does show user categories, and this scroll bar here will move your user categories up and down. When you click into any particular category, you'll notice that there are some changes below, which are the dynamic types of displays that I just explained, and also the chart. In some versions of Access, you'll have to click in to view the chart. Security measures there. Okay, so when we click into the user category of expenses by monthly, you'll see it ties back to the national standard of utilities, and it gives you some of the samples of what is being used, of what's being classed as utilities. So let's take a look and let's look at some of these things here. Okay, John has some tracking that has been classed in car. Car ties back to transportation, and transportation includes gasoline and repairs of cars too, so you can always it does a summary there for you. So if you take a look at car, you see that there are, for example, 2010 he had this amount for budgeted items and this amount for non-budgeted items. And if you see here, as far as the classing that John's family has done, it looks like we've got a favorable trend here of a downward slope of expenditures that are classed in transportation. So that's good. Right here is an actual line that shows exactly what is being classed in transportation. If you notice, this is kind of funny here. The car has only 2010, but down here it's 2011. This is another example of how gas is being recorded in 2011, so that's why you don't see it there. Of course, your monthly average is $309, which is percent of the revenue that comes in for John's family, and by national standard they allow 15%. So John's actually underneath the national standard of $272. Now, this is interesting, but national standards are just that. They are an averaging standard that applies to most everybody across the nation. The variable there is that if you live, for example, you live in a desert environment, you will pay more in your utilities for air conditioning than the normal standard. So Bank2Budget allows you to customize your categories so that you can track your user amounts here, and that's what this is. Here is John's family says let's see if we can do 6% of for transportation, and it still shows that this is $350 underneath the national standard. So what they have reduced in their tracking for their personal percentage there, they are applying to, for example, utilities where they have to pay more in the desert environment for electricity. Okay, monthly trends, another favorable trend here that you can see. Let's take a look at expense monthly. These include the water, telephone, electricity. If you check the data table, you'll see that John's family looks like they used to pay a mortgage, but they've paid off their mortgage. So instead of having to save up or be prepared for $1,600 each month, right now for a monthly average of what they need to prepare for is these figures right here. So it's a good useful chart here. Actually, table. Let's take a look at the chart. Okay, this shows a visual of the mortgage and how it disappeared, and then of course your different categories that are being applied in a monthly type. The chart is interesting. You can take out and save your particular types of categories that you want to look for. If you take a look, you notice a blue tone to this drop down here, and the same will apply to dates. Blue, it means that it's already being filtered out, and if you notice that John's didn't want to view paychecks on a monthly basis, and let's go ahead and add that back in and see why. Okay, so here's his paychecks seem to be on an upward trend, which is good, but I can see it does smush up the chart a little bit, so that's why they want to take out paycheck. Alright. Now most times, unless you're real sure you want to be consistently seeing the chart, most times it's good to say no to any save of the chart or the tables. That's it for this. You'll want to keep track of this this form and watch your trends as they go, correct them as they go too if you see something that's not applied correctly. There's another form here, customized categories, that's covered in further down into your video training, as well as some other detailed explanations for charting too. So welcome to Bank2Budget.